I take you through the results from this poll and then try and draw meaning from the results in 2024 and try and understand what this could potentially mean for the next assembly elections in 2027. So let me take you through the caste data for Uttar Pradesh first. Now, if you look at the castes, the upper caste largely very strongly consolidated as they have been in the last few elections with the India Alliance. The Yadavs, as they have been because of the Samajwadi Party, very, very strongly consolidated with the Samajwadi Party. There was some shift away of Yadav vote to the BJP. That's now come back, as this data very clearly shows. Kurmi Khoiris, again, largely leaning towards the NDA, with lesser consolidation, but largely leaning towards the NDA. Now let's come to the Dalit vote. And two primary Dalit categories. One is the Jatav vote, which is the party vote bank of Mayawati, or largely where her support comes from. That still largely is towards the BSP, but only half of what she'd like it to be. And the other half split almost equally between the NDA and the India Alliance. The big change, and that really is the story of the Uttar Pradesh elections, are the non-Jatav Dalits who voted very strongly in favor of the India Alliance. And remember, if you've got Dalits and you've got Muslims and Yadavs, and the highest level of consolidation really is amongst the Muslims, 92% consolidation in favor of the India Alliance. So the question is, will this stay like this till 2027, or will some of the Dalits in an assembly context really change their preference? There's no way of knowing, but Sanjay Kumar and Yashwant have sharp insights, and since this is Sanjay Kumar's data from CSTS, I'll put the first question to him. Sanjay, your sense, it's impossible to answer with certainty, but your best sense at the moment of on whether this transfer of Dalit votes to the India Alliance, which we saw, is a more lasting phenomena, or is it a one-off caused by circumstances in this Lok Sabha election? Sanjay Kumar.
Rahul, as you know, that the survey doesn't help us in figuring out whether this is going to last or not. But I think if the assembly elections were due in 6 months' time, maybe in a year's time, I would have been more confident in saying that this is going to last till the assembly elections. But I think Lok Sabha assembly elections are due only in 2027. So it's a very long time, 3 more years. And I think 3 more years is a very, very long time. Very difficult to say whether this will last or not. I think if they don't become too ambitious, if the two parties don't start cutting, cutting each other with a regard with a view of expanding in the state, then this might last. If they start, if they try and work in coordination, this will last. If they start thinking that 2027 is going to be their election, Congress want to expand at the expense of Samajwadi Party, then I don't think this is going to last. Okay. You made a very important point. If they are practical, it may last. If the Congress suddenly by then starts thinking we are back, the grand old party is informed, they want to expand the Jan Aadhar, then things can change. Yashwant Deshmukh, your response to that same question with no certain answer, do you see this as a one-time transfer of Dalit votes because BSP is weakening, or by then more forces like Chandrasekhar Azad could be stronger, there'll be more competitors in that same Dalit vote space? Or do you see this now potentially, because the SP and the Congress are together, now potentially being the new reality for Uttar Pradesh politics?
Well, Rahul, first of all, our numbers in the post poll are almost on the line what Dr. Sanjay Kumar's numbers are as far as the Jatav and non-Jatav Dalits are concerned. And we did actually also ask the question, whom would you vote for if the assembly elections would have been happening together? And the BSP vote share, the intent in that class is almost 20% more among the Jatav and the non-Jatav Dalits both when compared to their current voting intent of the current Lok Sabha elections were there. So obviously one thing is very clear, they did not see Mayawati as a stakeholder as far as the national election was concerned, but they definitely feel Mayawati as a stakeholder as far as the assembly elections are concerned.
How do you know this year as a stakeholder in the assembly context? How do you know that?
For example, on the screen you are watching 44% for Jatav and 15% for non-Jatav. For the current...
I don't understand what you're saying. Why are you saying, Yashwant, that Dalit voters see Mayawati as being a relevant party in an assembly election context, because even in the assembly elections, her vote share has constantly been declining.
It's declining. It's obviously she is left with the only core Jatav and a part of a non-Jatav support base. But let's also face the reality that in the context of anti-Modi and pro-Modi polarization, there was a big number of even Dalit voters who were anti-BJP. They voted for Samajwadi Party and Congress coalition, and actually, to be honest, a big credit has to be given to Congress, because, in the social equationing, Dalits do not have that kind of allergic reaction with the Congress that they used to have with the Samajwadi Party grassroots leadership on the ground. So Congress actually has given a lot of traction to Samajwadi Party as far as the non-Jatav Dalit.
Let me put this question now to Ajay Alok. Ajay Alok, this result in Uttar Pradesh, and I want to take our viewers through the actual results just to refresh your memory of Uttar Pradesh. Has this frankly caught you completely off guard, because there were BJP leaders who were saying, "Dekhna, 80 aa jayengi, 2014 to ho hi jayega." If you look at the results, the Samajwadi Party is quite shockingly the number one party at 37 seats, BJP at 33, Congress at 6, RLD at 2, the Apna Dal, etc. at 1. The SP came second on 24, the BJP came second on 42, the Congress came second on 11. The fact that the Samajwadi Party is actually 4 seats more than the BJP, are you willing to concede that this is very, very shocking? And more importantly, what is your dissection of why you read Uttar Pradesh so wrong?
Well, Rahul, your audio is pretty disturbed, but as far as I can gather, you're asking me that are we really shocked and are we really disturbed with the Samajwadi Party in Congress? I'll say rather no, because we have been speculating over the result that what went wrong from our side. And there were multiple combination of factors which went wrong. Yes, we do admit that coming to 33 from 62 is definitely not a good sign. It somewhere shows that a low voter turnout was meant for us, that our supporters didn't came out. A prolonged election, definitely. Secondly, anti-incumbency towards the candidates. Yes, that could be a factor. Plus the false narrative, what the opposition, what the Samajwadi Party and Congress were able to set up in the public, that if they get 400, they will finish the constitution. They will finish the reservation. These two things I guess it got some resonance definitely in some parts of the society, and it reflected in the results. But as far as Samajwadi Party and Congress being a contender and we are shocked, no, not at all. We keep on winning and losing the elections. We have seen that once upon a time we were even 10 seats in UP, and before 89 we were not even a single seats in UP. So we are not disheartened. Of course, we are disappointed, but we'll keep on working on that. And let me assure you, the power for us only means to deliver. And when we'll deliver in this 5 years, this myth, what has been propagated for us, this myth will be demolished. And again in 2027, because by that time we would have delivered and we would have won the people's confidence. And by 2027, I assure you that the third time Yogi government is going to be repeated.
Okay, now let Juhi Singh respond to what you're saying. The biggest takeaway from the BJP's perspective is, we got a wake-up call. We didn't expect this. Now we know what can go wrong. We erred on ticket distribution this time around. We've seen what Samajwadi Party did, giving a lot of tickets to non-Yadavs, non-Muslims, because they knew that those communities were with them to try and bring the others on board. And therefore, we will not make the same mistake again. And we'll be fighting a much better campaign. And there'll be a very different BJP approach to 2027. Therefore, they're hoping that this is just a one-term phenomena. What makes you confident that this social coalition that we saw the India Alliance create can last till 2027 and beyond? Juhi Singh.
Rahul, of course, it's a social coalition, but this is just oversimplifying an election. And I think the answer lies in what Ajay Alok said, that they were not delivering anything on the ground. It's also an issue-based election. And the Samajwadi Party has worked hard. Since 2022, we've lost the election. But look at the issues which were on ground. The Mandir was not there, but unemployment was there. In 2017, no recruitment has taken place. When we talk of reservation, then the fact is that students were protesting in the 69,000 assistant teachers recruitment, where 6,800 were not given the benefit of reservation. Also, the rural distress, the agrarian distress, it's all right to say that we deliver data you can put out. But is it, are those n number of toilets being constructed? Has the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana really delivered? Is it better than Lohi Awas, which we were giving? Were students really getting admissions? And we were walking the talk. Every time a student would protest, every time there would be a law and order issue, then we would protest, sit
No,
with
but you're not
people.
answering my
So
question. What makes you think this coalition will last? Juhi Singh, what makes you think this coalition will last?
Why not, Rahul? We are all responsible leaders, and the important thing is what I think again came from somewhere, that the simplification that the Dalits came with us only because of the fact that they was apprehensive that the constitution was going to be altered was also said by their own MPs. We have a number of people.
Next time that can't be the same issue, right? So, this time it became a big issue that the constitution would be changed. Next time Ajay Alok says we won't let this become an issue, we'll clarify this, we'll develop, we'll try and build out Uttar Pradesh and people will judge us for our performance.
But they're already doing it. When the constitution gives us reservation, look at the recruitment or the government data which is being given at how many Dalits are giving that employment or those jobs. And the fact that delivery mechanism, of course, is not there. Investment summit again, you make a big hoo-ha about it, but how much investment has really come on the ground? So for 10 years you didn't deliver, since 2022 you didn't deliver, you have your own government in the municipal localities also, still you didn't deliver. So now in 3 years you are hopeful, so wish him the best. And as for the coalition, the Congress and the Samajwadi Party workers have worked together. We've also carried out training for our workers, and we are a party who are doing everything hands down.
Okay.